President Mnangagwa, I am embarrassed as an African child, and I want you to know that it is a shame for you to really want to insist in staying in power, because power you need to be given by the very same people. And I'm here to send one statement: get your boots off your people's necks, because if people cannot be allowed just to express themselves, because we know that today's march, they were not going to force you out of the office, they were just expressing to let you know their discomfort. Africa as a whole is yearning for people who are life changers, and that's exactly what you are denying them. And people are beating like small children just to express their dissatisfaction. Who are you leading when you want to be the one? Because this is just it's bullying, but it's also hate. And what is painful for me is that I, as a South African, we faced an issue like this when our people didn't have a freedom of doing anything. But you know what? They were not asking it from a black president. They were asking it from a white president. For you to be a black president and you're treating your black people who have made it to be in power in that way, it is a shame. And I do want to say it's embarrassing. I am saying this with disgust as well. I think the time has come for all the governments, now not only Zimbabwe, of people who are in power, and to understand that this power should not end in their selfishness, their rich pockets, and their relevance that doesn't benefit anyone. If you are going to force to be in power, at least pretend to care for the people that you are leading, because all of those people are doing that with selfishness. There is no reason we should actually even be loggerheads with people of other countries if the very same government of ANC in South Africa was doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they're leading with corruption that is only benefiting them and their pockets, and they don't care about the people. And all those people in power, including the very same ANC, should be flushed.
We are coming here in one voice to in solidarity with people of Zimbabwe. We can see the persecution that is being imposed by the regime of Mnangagwa. We said it can't be that we keep quiet while we can see what's happening. So we are saying no to this persecution that is happening in Zimbabwe, and we are saying it cannot happen under our watch. So we can't allow this to happen. South African politicians have been held accountable. It can't be that Zimbabwean politician can't be held accountable. So if Ramaphosa can be held accountable by South Africans, who is Mnangagwa who can't be held accountable? We are having Zimbabweans all over the world because the government is failing to cater for them, while Zimbabwe has all the resources to make sure that it feeds its own people. But those resources are then now utilized only to benefit only few individuals. It can't be possible and happen under our watch. We are saying as ICALE movement, we are issuing strong message to Mnangagwa and this government to say we have consulted with our lawyers. We are taking government of Mnangagwa into ICC, International Criminal Court. We have already started, and whatever that happened today is just going to emphasize and beef our case against the government of Mnangagwa, to say whatever, if it happened that they persecute people, they kill people, they imprison people, it's going to be an increase in our case that we have against them.
All right, guys, at home in Zimbabwe, the revolution continues. So for those that may have ruled out freedom under the guise of Mnangagwa signing CAA 3, I need to remind you that there is more to come. In fact, protests are on the horizon. So relax and chill. And by the way, these are not just protests. We are putting a stop to nonsense in the country. Renowned journalist Blessed Mhlanga wrote on his X account, let's have a look at that tweet. I've been informed that a demonstration against CAA 3 is on the horizon. This one won't be a stay-away. This will shake the corridors of power and announce a new order in Zim politics. I'll wait to see if the move will shake foundations. For now, goodbye. But breaking, South African lawyers are reportedly preparing a submission to the International Criminal Court seeking an investigation into ED of alleged human rights abuses and long-standing impunity. The legal action is expected to argue that Zim victims in SA provide a basis for the ICC prosecutor to consider the case. A parallel petition is also reportedly being prepared asking the UN Security Council to refer Zim to the ICC, since it isn't a part to the Rome Statute. If filed, the case would mark a significant attempt to pursue international accountability for human rights violations in Zimbabwe. The ICC and any relevant international bodies would determine whether the legal requirements for jurisdiction and any investigation are met. I mean, Zimbabwe is not something to actually argue about. I mean, we all know that this country has been led by criminal gangs for a long time. For a long time, and for the past 4 decades, in fact. I mean, let's start with the Gukurahunda. I don't understand why is it people never pursue the Gukurahunda legally. I'm talking about internationally, though. In fact, I heard that ZANU-PF killed more people than Ian Smith and the apartheid regime combined. Let me know if these are facts in the comment section, because the people that confirmed yesterday, I still need to confirm again. Not that I don't trust them, but I just thought it's important. I did my research, and I was yet to still, it's sad. So we are not dealing with just normal people. So when I said that these guys need mental help, some people think I'm being disrespectful. I'm not. You can't be a normal person after killing 20,000 people. Killing one person. What about that guy that met with Auxilia? Right? How many people did he kill? But he was already going berserk. And Auxilia left her office and sit in the court where he was being judged. That speaks volume, isn't it? So why is it we think killing more than 20,000 people? In fact, 20,000 is a number from ZANU-PF. But what about the actual number? Is there anyone who knows it? Because if it came from ZANU-PF, I don't believe it. Because they are not people who stand for the truth. All right. So more threats are being fired at Jacob Ngarivume. Just because he simply stand for the Sungano Yevan. That's his crime. Guys, Emmerson Mnangagwa must go, and he must go yesterday, together with his criminal gangs. They must all be sent packing. And sent packing, they will be sent packing. Anyway, you know what to do. You like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share with others, and then you also need to show me some love. Let's look at the report that was shared by Hope Ochingono. Gunmen traveling in a grey Toyota Fortuner G6 wrote these threatening messages on the walls of the home of Zimbabwean political activist and spokesperson for the newly formed Sungano Yevanu Jacob Ngarivume. Sungano Yevanu is a broad-based pressure group campaigning against Constitutional Amendment Act No. 3, which extends President Emmerson Mnangagwa's tenure by an additional 2 years, effectively prolonging his stay in office. The law also extends the presidential term from 5 to 7 years and removes the direct election of the president by the people. Ngarivume has previously been arrested and jailed 3 times by the Mnangagwa regime without ever being convicted of an offense. The gravity, which includes the words "you will die for nothing" and insults using vulgarities, is an act of intimidation directed at the opposition activist. I've been thinking about the judiciary in Zimbabwe. How do you guys sleep at night? And I'm not saying everybody, but those that are working with Emmerson Mnangagwa and sending innocent people to jail, how do you actually sleep at night? Imagine as a father coming back home with your jacket, those jackets, and then your wife is looking at your kids and say, "Daddy," and you know for sure you've sent an innocent person to prison. And you have children, okay, that you expect to live in a normal society. How selfish, ignorant, evil, and stupid can someone be? You are creating a culture that will haunt your children, even your grandchildren. Guys, are you using your feet to think? Because surely you can go to university for many years to send an innocent person to prison because you're getting quick bucks. Some of these men are bringing cases in your life. No wonder why most of you are dying like nothing. Because God has judged you. I've been looking at the ZANU-PF. Guys, you have watched the ZANU-PF for many years. And you have seen how most of these people die. It's sad. It is a curse. You guys have been judged by God. You are under a curse. That is the truth that many people cannot tell you. I'm here to tell you the truth. If you don't stop your evil, there's going to be a heavy price to pay. Time will deal with that. Today I was so hurt when I discover what they've done to Mutaris. Guys, you know Mutaris very well. Okay, Tinashe Mutaris, and the work that he's doing. Take a listen.
Zvakangoma hazvo. Ndiri kutobva kureceiva call izvozvo a couple of minutes ago. Zvikanzi ichibva kuzesa. Zvikanzi tiri kunzwi sorting. Muchida kuti tikuisirei magetsi kuti mukwanise kuvhura on Saturday. Saturday yatiri kuadvertisa kuti machipisa food isiri kufanira kuvhurwa. Hanzi hazvichakwanisike. Mungakwanisa here kuti dai mavhurawo the other Saturday iri kumberi kwacho. Ndikati ko Hinda. Zvikanzi I know kuti takakupromisai kuti tiri kukuisirai magetsi nhasi. But zvakaitika ndezvekuti patakakupai quotation yamakanobhadhara ye1600 hatina kukuisirai mita, takakanganwa kuisa mita. Ndati so kana makakanganwa kuisa mita chirega ndimhanyike zvindingobhadhara mungondoudza kuti mita yacho yemari ndovandava ndizobhadhara. Zvikanzi hazviite because ezvinezvi system yedu iri down, saka hatikwanisa kutambira mari. Just like that. Saka motsvaga date hanzi moista musi Saturday. Ndikati cooking muri kungoti mimi musi Saturday, it's not that easy. Zvikanzi saka chiisai date racho ramukuda. Zvotopera kondo vetu zvatovharana. Munyika mune vanhu ndizvozvo hapana kutamba. But we are going to open. We'll use my generator. Hatisikuda kuti vanhu vawine. Ameno uyai musi wa1 tinenge tiriko, tinoona kutamba tetiripo. Ameno ikoko tozozviona musi wa1. Imimi uyai chete. Ameno hainindi kuvhura musi wa1 handichada.
It's Emmerson Mnangagwa and these criminals that are playing all these dirty games. I can never exonerate him because this thuggery behavior has been going on for decades and contaminated all our institutions, which includes ZESA itself. Do you guys remember last time when they banned his business, his paint business? You know, one thing that I respect about Mutaris is that he is a family man that is raising his children openly so. And, you know, it's so good to watch him and his children. And he's a hard worker. Now they're trying to sabotage him. Now someone can tell me, we have a government. We don't have a government, is it? Because what kind of a government hurts to see people succeed? So you are waiting for the so-called investors, but your own people, you don't want to see them succeeding. You know, you are like some family members always say that you see a brother is jealous or a sister is jealous of the brother or the brother is jealous of the sister, but they're actually working for someone's business, right? Because when you are employed today, it's someone's business. For your information. Yeah. Murray and Roberts, Investec Bank, these are people's businesses, families' businesses. So you are working for someone, but when your brother or sister opens a business, you are destroying it. It's ignorance. Honestly, how do you hate to see Zimbabweans succeeding? Do you know what recently we watched Matapi being revamped by Mnangagwa's kids? But we all know that a few years ago, but 2-3 years ago, there were Zimbabweans who wanted to modernize Mbare, okay? And they were blocked by politicians. It was a group of Zimbabweans from the UK. They were blocked by Mnangagwa's regime, and now it's his children. So meaning Zimbabwe is Mnangagwa's handbag. He does whatever he wants with it. We are just his puppets that he beats when he wants to, kill, send gangs to threaten, writing nonsense on people's walls. And then that man is being called a president. You know what? Let me not even hear someone who says, oh no, but you're going to be killed. I'm dead already. Do you think, how many times am I supposed to die? I'm a dead woman. You understand? How many times are we supposed to die? It's nonsense to continue entertaining Chinadzana Mnangagwa, honestly. It's absolutely nonsensical. That's why I don't respect Superman Wanzara.
When you see a man of 60 years, 65 years, standing akabata mchiuno achiona doza excavator chipkanya imba yake, which they worked day and night, sweated blood and tears to achieve over many years. And they sit there, misodzi cherera, vachiona imba yavo ichipwanywa, because it is an illegal settlement. It does not matter whether that person built that house illegally in an illegal area. When that video circulates, when people see it on social media, they look at us, they look at the government and say, these people are callous. These people, so we have a responsibility to make sure that does not happen to our people. How do we as a department make sure that it does not happen to our people? We work with the ministries that we superintend over. The Ministry of Local Government, the Ministry of National Housing, to make sure that in our areas, in our districts, in our provinces, anything that is taking place with regards to housing development stands for sale. We must ensure that we know that these things are above board, that these things are legal, not to wait. People buy these stands. They design the houses that they want to build. They take to Harare City Council, Bulawayo City Council, Mutare City Council, Gweru City Council for approval. The city approves, puts a stamp to say, it's okay, you can proceed. They don't approve in the absence of an address. They approve when they see the address where you're going to build. You build this house over 3 years, you move into this house, you stay in this house for 5 years, you pay rates to council every month, and your money is received and receipted. After 5 years, the council comes to you and say, hey, where you built here, it's illegal, you should not be having this house here. Where was the council approval? Why were they approving? So it cannot be acceptable. If this person built this house illegally, the council is part of the illegality. Why did you receive this money from this person? Why did you approve the design or the plan for this house when you saw the address and put your stamp to say proceed? You are part of the illegality. So in that case, don't make the one who built this house suffer. Both of you must suffer. And how must the council suffer? The council must suffer by making you, giving you an alternative and paying for the building of a new house, because they approved for you to build.
You know why I don't respect Super? Because I think Super Mandiwanziraga is trying to push on this kingdom of Mnangagwa, pretending as if these people really cares for Zimbabweans. Because if they cares, how do you buy a helicopter in a country where there are no roads for a mayor? How do you do that? And that helicopter, before I even deal with Super Mandiwanzira, it looks like those air ambulances that was changed color. Look at that, guys. And let's just take them parallel to each other. You see, the helicopter and that. It's giving Zupco. Remember the Zupco story? That Zupco were bought, but most of the Zupcos were stolen. It means they used them for their personal businesses, using taxpayers' money to buy buses, and after buying the buses, then share the buses to do their own things. And that's what it's giving, just that. Make it make sense. In a country that they don't even have a proper toilet in the entire city. I remember someone wrote on Twitter and said, no one ever wanted to talk about the shortage of toilets in our royal town. But they could buy a chopper. You can't convince me that Emmerson Mnangagwa and these people are serious. Whatever we did to God, He needs to forgive us so we can have a new start. Because Emmerson Mnangagwa is making me sick literally every day. By simply knowing that he's still the President of the Republic. Because how irresponsible and careless he is. He's spending money on useless things, from cars, now it's chopper. Before you know it, I don't know, we are going to start seeing ministers with their own personal choppers. I can tell you, if we don't stop this man. Hey, brothers and sisters, like I said, the military and the police need to change the way they see Zimbabwe. Mnangagwa is employed by the people. He's not Zimbabwe. Don't give him what he doesn't own, because you are doing that. But protect him every time he hurts the people. What is life to you? Some of the things you don't need to go to University of Harvard to know what we are doing is absolutely nonsense. Put the country first, not a person. Respect him. Respect is one thing. Worship is another. You guys worship Emerson. And you're sinning against God, because there can only be one God. And he said, now Mr. Superman Wanzera, spare us the nonsense. This has been going on for decades. Zimbabweans have lost houses over and over and over because of your regime. Why now? Guys, principles reign supreme. You can't play politics all the time. We don't even have the luxury to politic anyway. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section. I can't wait to see Mnangagwa gone. Because going he will soon. I love you guys. God bless you and God bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.